And welcome to the Sports Den Show, everybody. I am your host, David King, and this is the first live Sports Den Show, live streaming right now. This ain't no recording. This is live. So when you hear me stutter, when you hear me do like this, and if I do like this, it's not recorded. It's live. You are here in my den. What you see back there. My sports logo and stuff like that. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show. Special shout out to Dylan. He's in the sports den. I see you, Dylan. I see you. And you can drop comments right there in the chat box, right there. I can see all of your comments. Basically, this setup is the same thing. Yes. You get to see all of this right here. Now, whether that's a good thing, that's up to you. I think it's a good thing. But I just wanted to just be able to live stream the show. I want everybody to see who the host is, see me, and I prefer watching a sports talk show than I do listening because you can see the facial expressions, you can hear the emotion, you can hear everything, but you get to see the intensity in the like. For instance, when we're talking about LSU's office next year, I'm gonna be wide-eyed like this. Man, I'm excited. I can't wait. But if we was talking about, let's say, Johnny Jones, then I'm just gonna be like, man, what the? You see the difference? Even though you can hear it, you can see it as well. So thank everybody for tuning into the show. It's very new to me, so I'm kind of doing everything behind the scenes. I'm still trying to get used to looking into that camera right there. 'Cause I kind of want to look off to the side to see what's going on right here. I kind of want to look off to the side to see what's going on over here. But I hope you enjoy the show. There's a lot more features with using this website. I get to show highlights from the game. Like in a couple of minutes, I'm going to actually show highlights from yesterday's exciting game, LSU baseball game. So it's a lot more features you can do with this. You can see pictures, you can see the interviews, you can do a whole lot of things with this app and this website right here. That's why I chose it. So it's a lot better. If you don't know, please go to Facebook, and I have published, and it is now available for everybody to like the Sports Den Show Facebook page. You can search at Sports Den Live, right to the page, click like, invite all your friends to like the page as well. We're going to have a whole lot of great stuff. I got a lot of good administrators that's going to help me have a lot of content about LSU, the Pelicans, the Saints, you know, the teams that we love to cheer for. So support this, at the sport at Twitter. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, the Sports Show. Also, I also have opened up Search the Sports, and you can pull up the the YouTube. Great, because you'll be able to see, you know, but at the same time, if you see something that's kind of funny, or you want to hear your own voice again, or you want to again, or something like that, then you can just go to the replay. Well, I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because this is actually my first time doing it. I'm trying to do all the behind the scenes stuff that you probably can't see. Like pulling up different scenes and pulling up, you know, I'm about to pull up the highlights and stuff like that. As you can see, you know, how many of y'all got that hat right there? How many of y'all got that hat right there? Man, I got it. I got my LSU jersey on. So I'm representing LSU because today is going to be an LSU show. But first of all, we're going to start talking about yesterday's exciting game. Man, I tell you what, LSU baseball is, I don't know, it's kind of frustrating at times, but then they provide some great moments, and you just, and it's like a roller coaster of emotion. It's just a roller coaster of emotion, just like this. You go up, you go with the excitement, and then all of a sudden you go down with you know what I'm trying to say. But you know what? Let's go on and get to the highlights. And please bear with me, folks. I'm using a particular software to help me do this, to do this stuff for me. So I'm kind of doing this by hand. So it ain't gonna be quite as smooth as it would be if you was watching it somewhere else. But hey, here it is. Let's go to the highlights of yesterday's show. I mean yesterday's ball game between LSU and their exciting win. Well, that was the game yesterday. So LSU versus South Carolina. Man, what an exciting game! And we know that LSU took the game 76. Later on in the game, I think it was South Carolina was going for to break the tie, and they waved around the guy through the to go around the home around third base. Did you see how slow he was running? Chugga 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 chugga. I know I can. I know I can. Chugga 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 chugga. Did you see how slow he was running? Chugga 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 chugga. Oh, and then he had the nerve to slide. He had the nerve to slide, man. No wonder he was throwing, but what an exciting game. Mr. T 295 in the sports den. Dylan, you know he's in the sports den. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all for watching the live show. So it comes down to Paul Marineri. Now I know that Paul Marineri has won a national championship. I think it was roughly 2000. I think it was 2008 or 2009 that they won a national championship. One of those years, I can't really remember. But you always look at the same thing over and over. LSU baseball gets great talent. They get great talent. They win some games. They have gotten to the, I guess you could say the baseball version of the playoffs, which is actually, I guess you would say the tournaments and stuff like that. And, you know, they got knocked off a couple times early. But here's the thing. I'm getting some mixed emotions from different people. Some people, because he has all the talent, but he win a championship. Number two, yeah, adjust my head. Number two, some people want him to stay because they still think he's a good coach. and they still think that he can lead LSU to the promised land again. Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not really um, a baseball guru, but I do know this: if you got supreme talent, you're supposed to win games and you're supposed to win. You know, I wanted to talk about Marineri because there was a Facebook meme that was floating around a couple of weeks ago. And it showed Marineri in the dugout. You know, he was kind of like posted up against the fence, but then, but then it had Les Miles' face. And I guess the point was being that he is the Les Miles of LSU baseball. Got all the talent, can win some big games, but then he also can lose some games that cost him championships. I don't know. I'm kind of having mixed feelings because, you know, I think the wins are just gonna come. People just have to be a little bit more patient. And to be honest with you, I think if you give this man a couple more seasons, let's see what he can do. I know LSU has lost some talent due to the Major League Baseball draft, especially high school recruits. Because you know in high school you can get drafted by Major League Baseball and go play professional ball. But basketball and football is different. In basketball, you at least have to play 1 year. I think you have to be 19. You have to be 19 years old to even enter to the NBA. So most kids will play 1 year in college. Ben Simmons, prime example, came to LSU, was overrated, then left. And football, you have to be, you have to use up 3 years of eligibility. So you can either be a redshirt sophomore or a junior to be eligible to go into the NFL. Baseball's a whole different ball game. You can be drafted right out of high school. No requirements to go to college or anything like that. No age requirements. You just got to, I guess, graduate high school. And when it comes to getting even more premier talent, it kind of hurts LSU a little bit. So I kind of want to give Paul Mainieri a little bit of a pass. I want to give him a little bit of a pass because of the simple fact that he still gets great talent, but then at the same time, he loses some talent that could probably help them out overall. But you know what? LSU is not doing bad at all. LSU is actually tied for second place in the SEC. Florida and Mississippi State are both tied at 16-8, and then Kentucky is tied with LSU at 15-9 for second place. So the Tigers are still doing pretty good. They're actually still doing pretty good. And it all comes down to what happens in the postseason. That's what it all boils down to. What happens in the postseason? And from what I've seen with LSU, I think this LSU team is a little bit more balanced from what I've seen personally. Now I know there are probably other people out there that are more, better experts than me. But from what I've seen with my, amateur baseball eye, LSU seems to be pretty balanced. They can play small ball, and I've seen a couple of games where they actually, did some guerrilla ball. LSU pretty much won the championship the same way in 2008. When they had, Chad Scott, they had Blake Dean, and all them guys. They had a balance where they can do small ball or they can hit the home run. So I'm kind of seeing this team the same way. It's actually been a couple of years since I really watched LSU baseball, but I'm starting to watch LSU baseball now, especially since I got the show. And, I want to keep up with the team. So from a couple of games I've seen, LSU baseball is more balanced this year. Seems like years, the last 3 or 4 years, they've probably been a little bit more small ball, not really hitting as many home runs. But this year, you can see the home run. You can see the home runs, going up. And this team is a lot more balanced. Now, pitching, I tell you what, Poche, he is going to be a superstar. Poche, the way he started off the season, you start the season a no-hitter. Then you go to the next game, a one-hitter. Poche started off brilliantly. Now, talking to different people that has a little bit more knowledge of LSU baseball, a little bit more knowledge of baseball than me, they're saying that the problem with LSU is the relief pitching, the bullpen. And it kind of makes sense because LSU, they seem to always be somewhat in the lead, and then they kind of lose the lead. What's up, 28 Max 200 or whatever? Yeah, 28 Max 200. He's in the sports den. What's going on? So I think Paul Marineri. You know, that's just something you just got to deal with. You know, if your team starts off hot hitting the ball, and that's the thing about baseball, you can have a 21-0 lead, but if your pitching just goes down and starts to sucking, then teams can come back. And it's not the same, not as much the same in basketball and football. Basketball and football, if you have a pretty healthy league, you can pretty much hold that lead. But in baseball, all it takes is just a couple of innings. All it takes is just a couple of innings. So we'll see how LSU's baseball team will finish out the season. Hopefully they'll finish out strong. Um, Hopefully that they start getting into the postseason play, SEC tournament. Then they start getting into the postseason play. Let's see if they can make it to Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, to the College World Series. It would be nice because, after the football season, after the basketball season, of course, of the big three, the football, basketball, and baseball, we want to see one of them win a championship. We want to see one of our big three win a championship. And hopefully LSU can do that. Hopefully the pitching can get stronger. And hopefully the hitting can, they can keep up with the hitting and things like that. But speaking about the other teams from LSU, what about the gymnastics team? Wow. I got to give them a big applause. Congratulations to the LSU gymnastics team. What a fabulous, fabulous year they had. They came up a little bit short in the national championship. As far as team-wise, individually, I think one of our gymnasts did win a national championship, but team-wise, they came up a little short. But hey, good job, girls. Y'all did an excellent job. We're definitely proud of you. The volleyball team, thanks to Mr. Dylan Turner, he shared something in the Sports Den Facebook page about the volleyball team. So, they had a great season as well. I think they came up a little bit short. But congratulations to the gymnastics and volleyball team, on a well performed year. Well performed year. Softball team is still going. I think they're still doing pretty good. Let's see what I think the men's golf team did pretty good. Or was it the tennis? I can't really remember. But it was one of them. But congratulations to all the LSU teams that did well during the season and also did well during the postseason. So, what can we talk about now? Well, we can always talk about football. I already had a show about the LSU spring game, but I'm gonna tell you something. Let's start talking. Let's get back to LSU football. Because you can't talk about LSU football enough. You really can't. Here's the thing about LSU football. Ever since Coach Canado, you know what? I know what I meant to talk about. See, that's the thing about being live. I don't really prepare for this stuff. I just click on the camera, click on the website, and I just start talking. I mean, I knew I was going to talk about LSU baseball. I did get that highlight reel game. But other than that, I really hadn't thought about or prepared about Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin had some comments on how if he coached, if he was the offensive coordinator at LSU, Heisman Trophy winner. First opportunity. You should have came, but no, you want to go to Florida Atlantic Panhandle, seafood, laying on the beach university. I don't know the name of the university, but no, Lane Kiffin, you could have came. We had you. We had open arms. We was waiting to say, "Come on in, Lane. Come on, Lane. We got open arms for you. Come on, Lane." But you turned us down, so hey, it's all good. We moved on. And quite frankly, Lane Kiffin's name wouldn't have fit in with LSU anyway. I'm gonna tell you why. Our head coach, we call him Coach, Coach O. Coach Orgeron, we call him Coach O. So thanks to Mr. Joe Lawrence on the show that we did a couple of months ago, he said, well, hey, let's make it rhyme. Since Aranda or Canada is coming to LSU, we got to give him the typical LSU or Louisiana suffix name that ends with EAUX. So we got Coach O, and thanks to Joe Lawrence, he came up with Coach Canada. The Canado rhymes on it. And then I went to the next level, and I say, well, hey, we're gonna have a Coach O, and we're gonna have a Coach Canado. Why not just say, hey, Coach Dave Arando? Make it all fit. But when you think about it, Lane Kiffin or Lane Kiffo, it doesn't really ring a bell, does it? Doesn't really ring a bell. But hey, Lane Kiffin, he made his decision, and he's gonna have to live with it. And LSU is gonna move along. I'm really excited about LSU football this year. I'm really also excited about LSU basketball as well with the coach of Coach Wade. I hate that Blakeney left, but I just knew deep down inside that Blakeney was gonna leave anyway. He's too talented. And he got to get in the NBA, get developed, and we'll see how he's gonna do. But I'm excited about the men's basketball team. I'm excited to see that there's gonna be a young coach. Let's see if he can have a philosophy that can help us win, because Johnny Jones just wasn't getting the job done. He just wasn't, folks. He just was not getting the job done. But yeah, going back, I just went all off into little tangents because really I didn't really prepare. So I'm just really going off the top of my head with a lot of these topics. But yeah, going back to Lane Kiffin and going back to Darius Geis, he knows that, he knows talent. Lane Kiffin knows talent. Dylan Turner says, I think he can be the coach that gets us a title. Yeah. I think he's talking about Coach Wade. Are you talking about Coach Wade, Dylan, from the basketball team, or are you talking about Coach O? But I think both of them can. I kind of looked at the track record for Coach Wade, the men's basketball head coach, and he came from VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, and a lot of people. Okay, yeah, Dylan Turner says Coach Wade, yeah, and I did some research on him, and he has some humble beginnings. As assistant coach, and he worked his way up, and he coached at Virginia Commonwealth University. I think that's the VCU. I know the initials of VCU. I don't know if it's Virginia Commonwealth or whatever it is. But he led that team to a 22 win season, 22 game season. So I say to myself, well, what kind of competition do they play against? Because my whole motto is you only as good as your record. And your record is as good as your competition. And I guess when I say that, if you play against a whole bunch of Rudy Poo teams, then you're going to be a Rudy Poo team. Gonzaga made it a long way, but when they went against a traditional powerhouse, they couldn't get it done. Surprised they actually made it that far. But I'm just using that as an example. But VCU, the one game that I did watch was VCU against Georgia Tech. And I'm going to tell you something. They gave Georgia Tech a run for their money. Now, of course, Georgia Tech is not North Carolina. Of course, Georgia Tech is not UCLA or, some of the, traditional, at least not anymore. But let's admit, Georgia Tech they won some big games as well. And VCU was giving it to them. It's just that Georgia Tech was just, they just outlasted them. So that's why I'm really excited about Coach Wade. He proven that he can play against, good talent. And, by him bringing in a whole bunch of transfers, he's going to bring in some players that's got playing experience. LSU is already talented. Between Reef, The freshman that they got, the freshman point guard, his name slips me right now. LSU has talent on that team, and they got guards and they got a big man, and they also bringing in another big man who's supposed to be, from looking at his highlight film, he looks like he's going to be pretty decent. So we'll see how Coach Wade does. I am excited about that. The men's basketball team. So we got some months to go. Actually, we got a couple months to go before we see some football. But right now, going back to LSU baseball, what we can do is we can cheer them on. They're doing good. They could be doing better. They actually could be doing a whole lot better. Let's see. Turner says, I saw Coach was in a tournament with VCU. Coach Wade in a tournament with VCU earlier last season. He is a young coach. I believe we need very energetic. Yeah, that's one thing about him. He is energetic. I mean, hey, I think he's what, 33, 34, 35. If you're that young and you're a head coach and you're making the money that he's making, of course you'd be energetic. He should be. He should be energetic. He should be. But yeah, the baseball team, like I said earlier in the show, damn roller coaster. TCU, the number one versus number two earlier in the year. I was like, okay, yeah, let's beat TCU. Let's get the series, win against TCU. You probably wasn't gonna sweep TCU, that number one, for a reason. But LSU could have at least took the series. But hey, they dropped the ball on that. Florida had some questionable calls, I think, go that way. So we kind of dropped the ball on them. But LSU, overall this season, they're playing, pretty decent ball. They lost to some teams that I think they probably should not have. But it all goes with the territory. It all goes with the territory. I think one of the biggest games I think that they lost was against Tulane. Now, a lot of people are saying Tulane is a good baseball team. And from what I'm hearing, that they actually went to a major postseason tournament last year. So maybe that wasn't as bad of a loss as I thought at first, but still, this is LSU. You're supposed to win that. You were supposed to win that. Dylan Turner says, yeah, baseball lost some big game. Need to win the next two SEC series. Yeah. If they can win the next two SEC series, that'd be big, especially going to the SEC tournament. We want to, at least, keep the number 2 seed, or if possible, grab the number 1 seed. Hopefully, LSU can do that. They can have a smooth ride into postseason play. And then they can make that run all the way to Omaha, Nebraska. We can see them in the College World Series. But yeah, hey, I'm going to cheer for my LSU Tigers. Hopefully the softball team will do the same. I'm going to cheer for my LSU Tigers. I'm going to tell y'all something, folks. This is kind of weird to me, because it's like I'm looking down at my face, and I'm trying to look at the camera so I keep eye contact with you all. Then I kind of look down at my face, and it's like I look tired. I really do look tired. I don't feel tired, but I just look tired. But I don't know. I think it's the camera. The camera is, making me look this way. You know how they say the camera puts 10 pounds onto your body? And it's true. I mean, look how big I look, man. I'm not this big in person. I'm all muscle. Don't make me raise up my shirt to prove it. I'm just playing. But yeah, this is a good feel. This is a good feel. Reading it, I can still read my comments on everybody watching the show. I guess I still got my phone right here if anybody want to call in and text. So Tiffany says I'll do your makeup next time. Yeah, you're right. That's probably what I need, huh? I do need some makeup. Dylan, you laughing, y'all? You cracking up, huh? Yeah, I probably do need some makeup. Some eyeshadow or some blush or whatever that stuff is called. That's called. But yeah, I'm feeling this, and I'm really excited about keeping this up. And hey, all the thing we can do is, hey, just keep spreading the word. Keep spreading the word. Sports Den Show. Sports Den Show. And don't forget, on Facebook, search at Sports Den Live, and you can see the official Facebook page of the Sports Den Show. A lot of great stuff, a lot of great content, and this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Get to wear my LSU stuff, put on my LSU hat, you know, get to represent like I want to. Whenever I do a Saints show, wear my jersey, wear my Saints hat. I don't have a Pelicans jersey yet, but hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to get one, and a hat as well. So this is great. This is really great. This is my first live show. And I hate that I waited this long to do this because there's really not much to talk about right now except for LSU baseball. Um, some breaking news from the Saints. We lost our center, Max Yammer, however you pronounce his name. We lost him. I don't think it's going to be for the season, but they said it's going to be for a good length of time. So we don't need no injuries already. And don't let me get started on the draft picks. Y'all know how I felt about the draft pick, drafting, some players with, that's already been hurt. Probably the highest. I think the Saints are gonna probably have the highest paid medical staff in the NFL because they keep getting all these free agent players that be hurt, then they keep drafting all these hurt players. But that's another show for another day. I'm not even finna get started before I get riled up on that. But I guess just to talk a little more about the show. I know that there are a couple of new people here. If you don't know, the show is basically for us as LSU fans, Pelicans fans, Saints fans. I mean, I might even start, once, high school football a little bit. Even though I live here in Atlanta, I can teams and see how teams are doing, who the powerhouses are in the state of Louisiana. This is where West Monroe, and 5A, West Monroe, Ruston, Neville, a couple of teams from South Louisiana. Some of the private schools that were down, of course, was Evangel and John Curtis. So, we'll start talking about some high school ball too as well. But probably later on this week, we're going to start talking about the Saints some more. We're going to start talking about, as training camps come around and stuff like that. It's May right now, so we got, 2.5 more months before preseason starts. So, we just got to keep it ticking. But right now, LSU baseball is going on right now. And, I've never actually been to an LSU baseball game. I've been by Ellis Box Stadium plenty of times. Drove by it a whole bunch even walked by it a whole bunch of times. But I just never went to an LSU baseball game. Maybe one day I'll probably take a trip. Maybe next season sometime I'll take a trip out there and see what it's like to be in the box. And, it's got to be pretty exciting because they always selling out. And, us LSU fans, man, we can get loud and we can get rowdy. Yeah, so it's like I'm going to experience. I am going to experience an LSU baseball game. And I've experienced a basketball game. I haven't experienced a football game per se, but just being but see, there's a difference between Tiger Stadium and Skip Bertman Field or the Alex Box Stadium, Well, football season, you got all the tailgate, you got all the tents set up where you can watch the game. And it's almost as if like you're in the stadium. You still hear the crowd. You still feel the rumbling and stuff like that when you're outside with the tailgaters. So you kind of almost get the sense of being inside the stadium. Whereas, when you're at Alex Box Stadium, when you're outside the box, yeah, it gets kind of loud. But of course, you only got like 10, 12, maybe 15,000 people. I think Alex Box Stadium hold. Not really sure, but it's a lot of people. Joel D, what's going on? 19 Joel D. He's in the sports den watching as well. What's going on? So we're talking about LSU baseball, and going back to Marineri. I don't know. I just got mixed feelings. I got to see how this season ends. I think if he can make a run and come close to the World Series, I think you keep him another year. If he just absolutely falls short and have, let's say, an embarrassment like he had against Houston last year, he might have to go. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And that's all we can do. Hopefully, a lever or doesn't, make the same mistake he made with the football. Well, actually, you know what? To be honest with you, the football decision was it had to been done. It had to been done. I like how he made the change during the season per se. I just don't like how he only pursued two candidates. But hey, it is what it is. You can't change the past, and the powers that be controls the future and the present. So we'll see how Marineri does. We'll see if he can finish out strong, finish out the season strong, and hopefully get our Tigers a championship. I want a championship. I know the gymnastics team and the volleyball team came close, but I want a championship for LSU this season. I want a championship this season because I kind of got the feeling next season one of the big three is going to win a national championship next year. I got a strong feeling about that. But this season, I want a championship. A couple of teams have come close. A couple of teams didn't come so close. But LSU baseball is going to always have talent. It's always going to have talent. From what I've been seeing about LSU recruiting, they've pretty much been top 10 for the longest. I don't know how many years they've been top 10, but they've been top 10 for the longest. And they constantly have talent coming in. And when you look at Major League Baseball, you see your share of LSU players playing as well. So that's something to be proud of. That's something to be proud of. But going back to that meme with Paul Marineri sitting in the dugout with the Les Miles face, it's almost kind of appropriate. A lot of people are saying, well, Dave, you're being too hard. You're being too hard. You can't win every game. No, you can't win every game. You can't. But when you have the talent that LSU brings in, and I'm referring to baseball, we're not talking about football, and we're not talking about basketball, but when LSU brings in top-notch baseball talent, you should have more than one championship. That's why I think that meme with Marineri with the Les Miles face is really appropriate. Because LSU, as you know, Les Miles has had all kinds of talent come to the football program. Haven't really had a quarterback, but every other position, he's had premier talent. But he only won one national championship. Has won almost 150-something games. Only one national championship. So that goes to my thing right here. And I'm going to say this. Do you play just to win games? Or do you play to win championships? Which one do you like? If you're just an average fan, you're saying, yeah, I just like watching anyway. I like supporting my team. That's great. But wouldn't you want to get the feeling of a championship feeling? I know I do. I know I do. I can't believe I just licked the side of my mouth like that. That's why I'm so used to being on Spreaker, and I have to watch myself here on the video, licking my mouth, and there's a bright light right there. There's a bright light right there, and y'all can see me just clearly. Just clearly. Yeah, Dylan Turner. He understands. He feels what I'm saying. He says, I don't care about the wins and losses column. I care about the championships. So every win is great too. Yeah, exactly. When you field a team that has a lot of talent, that's what you want to experience. If you're just a mediocre university that, can only recruit mediocre talent, then you can't really, You can't really just say, "Oh, we expect championships." You'll be happy to win some games, but when you got the talent LSU has, all the talent, and I'm not just talking about basketball, football. I'm talking about baseball too, because they have had a lot of top 5, top 10 recruiting classes. You expect to win championships. You expect to win championships, and that's kind of the frustrating thing about our Louisiana teams. We have the college teams. LSU football, all the talent, only one championship. The basketball team, we've had some talent come through. I think we've had enough talent come through to be able to at least make it to the Sweet 16. That team we had last year, or the team we had with Ben Simmons, even though Ben Simmons I think is overrated, but still he had some great games in college. I still think that team should have at least made the Sweet 16. I wasn't expecting them to win a national championship, but they at least should have went to the Sweet 16. Baseball the same way. Um, you know, win the SEC tournament. Go into the postseason, make a run, get to Omaha, at least make the World Series. To at least make the World Series of college basketball, college baseball, excuse me. But we got a couple more series left in the SEC. We'll see how the postseason is going to play for LSU. We're going to cheer for them no matter what. We're going to cheer for them, and I think this team, like I said earlier, I hate to be redundant, but like I said earlier, this team, hitting wise, is a real balanced team. They play they a whole lot of base hits. Now South Carolina has their share of errors, but we can see small ball that LSU was playing, and they won with a victory. Now the second game against South Carolina, I think they had 2, maybe 3 home runs, and that was the gorilla ball, the slugger ball, however you want to call it. So LSU can do both. This team can do both. And like I say, from what I've been hearing, it's pretty much just been the relief pitching and the bullpen has been letting LSU down a lot. That's what's been letting LSU down a lot, just the bullpen pitching and, being able to hold a lead. Being able to hold a lead makes a big difference. Because if you jump out to a 5-1, a 4-0 lead, you gotta have that relief pitching to be able to hold on. You gotta be able to have that relief pitching. You can lose a lot of games by 1 run, or you can win a lot of games by 1 run. The scenario goes in all other sports. You can win by a little bit, or you can lose by a little bit. When it's all said and done, then you're just, at some point, you got to either step it up to win the game or you step down to lose the game. Whoa, so Dylan Turner says that there's talk of trading Mark Ingram. Well, I don't know what you're going to get for him. I don't know. You know what? This might be the time to trade Mark Ingram. He finished the season strong, had 1,000 yards. It would be nice if we could trade him and get our number 2 pick back for the next NFL draft. But we'll see. I don't think he's worth a number 2. He might be worth a number 3 because, quite honestly, Mark Ingram is not going to come to your team and run for 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 yards. He's not. He's just not. Because he doesn't hit that hole fast enough. He's a great power back, but he just don't hit that hole fast enough to break off, 5, 10, 15 or more yards. Now, I do remember he had the 75-yarder against, was it Carolina? I forget the team he did that against, but he did have the 75-yard against Carolina. But typically when you watch Mark Ingram, he just doesn't hit that hole fast enough. But hey, if there's a team out there that's stupid enough to give us a number 2 pick or hopefully a number 1 pick, hey, I'm all game. I'm all game because what's intriguing about what the Saints did in the draft was the fact that they got Kamara. You signed Agent Peterson and you signed Kamara. And that was an intriguing pick. Now, I ain't saying I didn't like the pick. I think they should have waited to the fifth round. Kamara probably would have been in the fifth round. If not, we can get another player like him this coming draft. But it was really intriguing that the Saints went with Kamara. Kamara is more than just a slasher. I watched him at Tennessee. He's good between the tackles as well. If you want to see some of his best games, watch the game against Tennessee against Georgia. Tennessee against Georgia, and I think it was Tennessee against Auburn. I think those were two of his best games. So you get a chance to see what he can do. But he got some speed. He's a talented player. Only knock on him is just his past. If you don't know his history, he signed with Alabama, then he transferred to Tennessee, then he got kicked out of school at Tennessee. But hey, college players are doing that dime a dozen. Okay, a whole bunch of players are transferring, a whole bunch of players are getting in trouble. That's just the way it is in college football now. But that was an intriguing pick, and I'm wondering if the Saints really are trying to shop and trade Mark Ingram. Maybe not this season, but for next season. Because to be honest with you, we need Mark Ingram. Okay, we need him he's going to be good for 900 yards. He's going to be good for picking up the third and ones, the second and inches and stuff like that. He's good for that. Kamara is not going to move that pile. Agent Peterson is not going to move that pile. Mark Ingram will move that pile. So I think the Saints might be trying to shop him for next season. We'll see. And to be honest with you, if Mark Season has another 1,000-yard season, the Saints might be willing to keep him. Because quite frankly, I think Mark Ingram feels the pressure is on. He sees it. He sees all the talks in the papers and in the groups and stuff like that. He sees these analysts on the Extra Stupid People Network. ESPN and Fox Sports, the NFL Network. He sees all of what they're saying, and I think he knows right now that he needs to either put up or get out. I think this is the year Mark Ingram probably will try to get 1,300 yards. But we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes you can only play up to what you can play up. Sometimes that's all you can do. But we'll trade him this season. I would really be shocked. Now next season I can see it. I can see it. And with the Kamara pick, they just might trade him next season. They just might trade him. Because when you think about it, of course Darius Geis is going to be available. He's coming out. Let's see this year. I can't really think of anybody off the premier backs to the NFL this year with Leonard Fournette, Devin, and the running back from Stanford. So we'll see how it goes. Dylan Turner says, I think by signing Peterson and drafting a running back, Peyton is committing to the run game this coming year, taking pressure off of Breeze. Yeah, he's going to be more committed than ever to the running game. He's going to have to be. Breeze is not going to be able to make another season throwing for 40 or 50 attempts a game. I'm sorry, he's not. I know he did it last year. I know he did it 5,000 yards last year, which was very remarkable. Very, very, very remarkable. But I think this year you're taking too much of a risk. You're taking too much of a risk by putting the game in Breeze's hands. Because even though Breeze will start off good in a lot of games, will build a lead, but at the end of the game, Breeze do have a tendency to throw those interceptions. And teams come back and win. But now with a power running game, or also with a, I guess you could call a slasher running game as well with Kamara, who can take the swing pass, can take the pitches out to the edge and stuff like that. This I think Sean Payton, what he's going to be trying to do is that he's going to be playing to protect the lead. He's going to be play calling. His play call is going to be aggressive at the beginning, build the lead, and then protect the lead by running the ball. Hopefully, the defense can step up and get some 3-and-outs too to help protect that lead. But yeah, I think that's what Sean Payton is trying to do. He's trying to make this offense balanced so that he doesn't have to worry about he doesn't have to worry about Drew Brees trying to take over and win the game at the end of the game. I think that's what he's trying to do. Oh, that's a little premature. I'm trying, and like I said, I'm just trying to get used to this. And I forgot to add my outro song, so oh man. So bear with me as I get through this stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. And please, if you listen to the show, please add me as a fan. You can see it at the top of the screen right there. Add me as a fan so that you can quickly get to the Sports Den show and find me very easily. Don't forget, go to Facebook, search Sports Den Live, and like the official Facebook page of the Sports Den show. And it's going to be a whole lot of great content. It's not really just going to be about the Sports Den show. There's going to, the administrators that I have, they got some good stuff as well. Joe Lawrence, he has Go Tigers, Everything LSU. Dylan Turner, he has a group, SPL Nation. My boy Martison Harmon, he has Who That Nation's Voice. My boy Sean, he has his own sports podcast called Under the Dome. It's a lot of great people that's going to be contributing to Dustin Skinner. He has a great group called Savage, College Football Savage. Man, you talking about some hard up talking trash. Them folks be talking trash in that group, boy. Talk about talking some trash, boy. They talk a lot of trash in that group. So there's going to be a whole bunch of different people helping with the page. We're helping me with the page. We're going to keep you up to date with a lot of the stuff going on with LSU, with the Saints, with the Pelicans, and other teams that we like to cheer for from state of Louisiana. Go like the page. You'll start seeing more updates. It's gonna, eventually get to the point. Usually what I try to do is I try to post what I'm going to talk about all over Facebook and different games, different groups and stuff like that. But it's really, it takes a lot of time for me to go through all the groups. And basically right now what is going to happen is that the Sports Den group page, and everybody can see it. But yes, please add me as a fan. All you gotta do is hit the button right up the top of this. Add me as a fan. Check out the Sports Den Show Facebook page, and also just spread the word. Dustin Skinner, what's going on, Dustin? I was just telling them about your group, College Football Savage, and y'all be going at it, boy. Ooh, they be going at it. Hey, don't forget all the other groups, all the administrators, and check out their pages. Check out their sports podcast, stuff like that. Because you know what? We're all Saints fans. We're all LSU fans. We're all Pelicans fans. We're gonna be the ones that you turn to for all the updates and all the news. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, and don't forget, spread the word. If you forget and you so happen are not able to catch the live show, you can go to my YouTube channel, the Sports Den Show, and you can get all the replays of the shows as well. And also you can drop some comments there too, like you do a typical YouTube video. You can leave comments there as well. Woo! I just said a lot. Justice Skinner says, check out the Sports Den page on Facebook. Yes, sir. Yes, please do. And like it and invite your friends to like it. Put it on your Facebook wall. Okay. Well, I think I've talked enough. Um, Big up to Dustin Skinner, Dylan Turner, Tiffany. Um, let's see who else. 28 Max 200, Mr. T 295. Thank y'all for joining me in the show. And please tune in tomorrow because we're going to do it again. And since we talk about and for the new ones that join me in the show, I have an outro song for each thing that I do. I have an outro song for LSU. I have an outro song for the Saints. Kind of have an outro song for the Pelicans. I'm still working on that. But, this is how we go out on the Sports Den show. This is how we go out on the Sports Den show. I'm going to bounce with it. I'm going to bounce with it. Do this with it. Do that with it. Do this with it. This is how we go on the Sports Den show. Everybody, this is what y'all do in the stadium when the band plays this song. Oh man, you talking about getting hyped. I want to thank everybody for joining my show. We're going to do it again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Tune in, be participating on the chats so I can read the messages. I'm your host, David King, and I want to say everybody have a good evening, get plenty of rest, wake up tomorrow, have a good day, and I'm out. This is my LSU bounce. But what you gonna do